So when I first heard about One Parish, One Prisoner, I didn't take it serious. I thought, oh, it might happen, it might not. Then I get the first letter from Carol. And then they kept coming the next day, the next day, the next day. So, but I'm nervous. I don't want to go anywhere new. But I'm thinking, okay, God is doing all this for me for a reason. If I have faith, then just believe it. So I went all in. And from then, that's it.
Okay, so it starts with a letter. And I'll be honest with you, the first thing was, shit, what am I going to say? I don't know this person. And all I could think about was, how do I comfortably start a letter to someone I don't know?
When I got the first letters from these guys who were gonna reach out to me, I think I got 3 in one day, like right off the bat. And I remember I took these letters with me to my cell. I'm reading these letters and they were introducing themselves. And again, man, I was like, whoa, I hadn't had a letter from anybody in a long time.
I remember my first letter that I was composing, and it felt like every word was a ton of bricks to just get on the page. I was at a lot of fear that this person who had no idea who I was, where I was coming from, my context, I was worried that this would not be received well. He returned a letter to me, and we found out that we both ran the same streets in a way in Northeast Seattle, that we were raised by single moms with two sisters, and that we both had boys. There was so much common ground right away.
I want you to remember that the person you're writing is more than likely experiencing the same thing, the same emotions you're experiencing. You've got nerves about what you write. So do we. You don't know how they're going to think of you. I don't either. You're afraid of being judged, etc. Like, just remember that more likely than not, you're not the only person feeling what you're feeling. We especially, I'm hyper aware of everybody's emotions around me because I have to be.
It was definitely not a relationship that I was expecting to blossom the way it has. I would say he's very close to my best friend.
We had our kickoff orientation, and that very afternoon, I wrote my first letter. And I decided that, I could spend a lot of months just telling Paul a little bit of this and a little bit of that, or I could be absolutely vulnerable and just put it all out there. His first letter was amazing because it said, thank you for deciding to do this and looking past that stigma of a prisoner. It was just fun to watch him bloom and to start telling not just things from the past, but about his daily life, what it was like to be in prison.
To this day, the people in my team that I'm closest with were the 2 people whose letters immediately grabbed me. And what grabbed me about their letters were that when they wrote their letters as a human being. They were just human. It wasn't scripted, it wasn't a crafted letter. It was a letter of saying, this is where I grew up, this is where I live, this is what I enjoy doing. Immediately that grabbed me because it's just like, here's a guy that's no different than me, and I am no different than him.
Quantity certainly isn't the goal, quality. And it doesn't have to be perfect grammar or well thought out, well written, just heartfelt, Speak from your heart as you were speaking to a true friend, wanting to know more about them, reveal more about yourself as well.
These things that we would talk about, you don't talk about with the ladies at church in the, Bible study. You don't get that, you don't dig down that deep. And when somebody shares things with you that are so personal and so deep in his mind, you want to share back.
I mean, it was just such little things, but it was those little things that got me up the next day to make my bed, to go down to lunch, to be able to go to sleep at night knowing that I could wake up the next day because I was going to get another letter.
When you get your hopes up and you're waiting for that letter, you're merely existing in there. Like, you're standing at the door 3 hours before the mail guy comes, and you're sitting there. You got this anxiety, you got this, or am I gonna be let down? Is my day gonna go sideways? And you're waiting there for a letter, and 90% of the time the letter never comes.
The entire prison sentence is a mind game, like, with yourself. Like, am I going crazy? No, I'm crazy. No, I'm not crazy. Wait, did that life exist? Do I exist? Wait. Then you get that letter and you're like, no, yeah, that was me. This is me, I'm okay. Like, any piece of the outside world of like recognition that like you're still alive, like that's why letter writing is like everything.
The best kind of letters are the ones that you don't expect. When you're in a dark place and somebody writes you and brings up some awesome memories. When somebody brings up, hey, remember this? You're still this person. You're still this awesome guy. I guess in a sense, somebody's reminding you that you're not done for. It's not over. You still got that light inside of you that shines bright.